You all remember Daniel Cameron. He is campaigning to be the governor of Kentucky, and right now he's actually leading in the polls. So he recently did a meet and greet this past Friday, touting his record as a fighter. And Breonna Taylor came up, right? Yeah, I was looking at some of the pictures of the meet and greet. None of our faces were in that crowd. Let me just put it that way. So Cameron wants to be the governor, and right now he's in the lead, according to the polls. He did a meet and greet at the embassy suites, and he moved around the room, chatting with familiar faces, shaking hands, posing for pictures. And before giving a speech, Cameron told the crowd his voice was a little hoarse from recently traveling across the state, including visits to 4 counties in 2 days. Cameron said that Warren County was key in determining the Democratic Governor Andy Beshear's win. So he said, make no mistake about it, you all are going to be the difference between a Democrat governor and a Republican governor come the end of this year. He touted his record as a fighter during the last 3 years as Kentucky's attorney general. And of course, y'all know Breonna Taylor came up, because back in 2020, he was the one that was overseeing that investigation. And he was the one that went with the grand jury. He was the one that excluded Breonna Taylor from the grand jury. And then he tried to blame the fact that Breonna Taylor was excluded on the grand jury. He said it was their fault for not bringing up Breonna Taylor. So we know the little dirty trickeries that he did. The only one he brought up on charges was Cosgrove, who was now gainfully employed with the sheriff's department. And it was for the neighbor that lived above Breonna Taylor for wanting endangerment. And those charges were thrown out. So it's like he didn't participate in the killing of Breonna Taylor at all. And Daniel Cameron has showed he's not about to put himself out there for Breonna Taylor. So, yes, it's coming up as he's out there, and people across Kentucky are protesting him. So he doesn't have it as easy as you think. They are protesting across the state when he shows up and reminding him of what he did in the Breonna Taylor case, which is absolutely nothing. But he claims to be a fighter. So they said there are political ads running, him and his opponent. And Daniel Cameron is running these very law enforcement friendly ads, like he backs law enforcement. Yeah, you backed a bunch of cops that lied about a drug bust. You backed a bunch of cops that lied to get the warrant to go into Breonna Taylor's apartment. And then you really lied to the grand jury and you never let them know that they could have brought up Breonna Taylor. So, by withholding that information, that's still a lie. You did not make them aware of that. They're citizens, not lawyers. So he said he received over 100 law enforcement officers that are endorsing him. Cameron said if he's elected, he will put a Kentucky State Police post in Jefferson County to collaborate with local Louisville law enforcement to get the violent crime issues under control. Well, if you were concerned about violent crimes, you would have done something about Breonna Taylor. That was a violent crime against her. So he goes on to say, we've been talking about it for a long time. I want to be governor I want to be a governor that takes action. Cameron said he does not plan to stop fighting anytime soon and said he will do what's right without fear, regardless of what the folks on CNN and MSNBC might say about him, regardless of whether folks protest on his front lawn. Wow, people are doing a ride up on Daniel Cameron over Breonna Taylor. Mm-mm-mm. So he said, we need to make sure that we have a Kentucky that keeps at its core the understanding and recognition that family, faith, and community are important to the fabric of our communities. Hmm. But you wouldn't do nothing about the murder of Breonna Taylor. Mm-mm-mm. And I'm glad people are picketing him everywhere he goes. And even if he lose the race, I hope they never, ever, ever let him forget about what he did to Breonna Taylor and how she never had her day in court. Nobody was ever brought to justice for murdering her. It might happen with the feds now that they had to step in because Daniel Cameron failed to do his job. That's why the DOJ had to step in. And maybe there'll be some justice, but we know how wishy washy this legal system is in America. But y'all, please tell me what you think about Daniel saying he's a fighter, but yet he didn't lift a finger for Breonna Taylor. Please leave your comment and subscribe. Don't forget to hit on the notification bell, and I'll see you on the next video. Peace, family.